Hey Taurus, this is your August 2018 general tarot reading. First off, a couple things. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant Taurus in your chart, or if you just feel called or guided to this reading. Also, you might want to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or any of my other videos that resonate with you, blah, blah, blah. Some of this, none of this, all of this may apply. It may be your energy that I'm reading. It may be somebody else, flip-flopped. It might be the other person's energy that I'm reading. I may be reading this as love. It might be career, family, a project, friends, siblings, children, whatever. Apply it to your life as necessary. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit. The energy can flip-flop. Again, I may be reading this as you, and it may be somebody else, whatever. I think we all know the drill. First off, another thing I want to say, thank you to all of you who have supported me and my channel. Especially the Tauruses. I mean, wow. I understand now why, people call Tauruses, especially in channels, their squad and their group or whatever, because, man, Tauruses are just so supportive. So thank you for supporting me and my channel and the comments. And also for any of you who have felt that you wanted to donate, to give back and keep the cycle going and all of that. Thank you, with support of any way, whether it's comments, likes, shares, subscribes, any of that. Also hit the bell if you haven't. Anybody like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell. And for those who have donated to give back and help grow my channel so I can continue to do this and help people. But I have to say before I start the reading, on kind of furthering off about, the comments that you guys have left. Your comments have really made me remember, even more so, the value in my gifts. And I don't just even mean doing this in tarot. I mean in the way that I treat people in my life and the way I love them. And in the way that Taurus doesn't always get appreciated for and recognized for. And to some degree, that's our fault for not having our boundaries. We are intense lovers. I don't think we get recognized for that as much, but we are one of the fixed signs. There are 4 fixed signs, and out of the 4 fixed signs, Taurus and Scorpios are the most intense out of all the signs. So it would make sense that we are going to be some of the more intense lovers besides Scorpio. And there's other very intense lovers, but you get what I'm saying. And it's not always recognized, and sometimes it can even be viewed as a problem or an annoyance or whatever, because some people don't know how to handle our type of love or how to show value for that. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that is because Tauruses don't know the value in that, or at least they didn't. They didn't before, and they're starting to now. Not only with the spiritual ascension that is happening with the large amount of the Tauruses that's going on, but just with us all coming together in what we're feeling on our own and being tired of it. A lot of Tauruses, they view as they're quick to cut off. When they're done, maybe. But a Taurus is when they're focused. And it takes a lot to take a Taurus off of their focus. And if you have one that is really focused on love or somebody, or really, especially if they're not able to have that love themselves, they haven't or hadn't learned that yet, they're going to be focused on that externally, and it is usually on one person or something main of a subject, because Tauruses really like to focus. They really like to give their all in a focused, intense, all energetic way. That is why Tauruses are one of, if not the best manifestors into the 3D realm because they're so focused, which is a good thing or a bad thing depending on where they're putting that energy. If it's not in good stuff, then that you're manifesting not great stuff for you. If it's in good stuff, you're good. Besides your, lessons in life. And that's also why sometimes it really takes like a wrecking ball to knock a Taurus off their track. And I just really feel like this awakening that Tauruses have been going through, whether they already have or are about to, there's probably little waves of them. These are their wrecking balls, and the ones that in many ways, through all the work and everything we've been having to do, have been helping us remember who we are and helping us remember our value. And, when I think of the Hierophant card, that's a lot of what I think of too, is value. Somebody who knows themselves, somebody who is connected and loves to give back too, but they know more who they are. Hopefully you're evolved to where you're not rigid. That's one of the lessons all this is to help Tauruses learn to go with the flow. So don't come back together and start to be rigid again. But it's helping us remember who we are and the value in our gifts. And one thing that really reminded me of that is your guys' support and comments in what was coming to me in my channel. And I recognized it. And I recognized it because it's what I do. It's who I am. It's one of those great things that I give to people a little bit too much before. I didn't give it in the right ways. But that people didn't always recognize. And it's one of those things people don't appreciate until it's gone. And I didn't know my worth in it because other people didn't know the worth in it. And that's okay, because I know my worth in it now. And I know my boundaries with it now. And people are going to start to recognize that now. And if they don't, I really don't care, because I know it now. And it really reminded me of it when you guys were just doing that to me, because it was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. This is amazing stuff right here. It made me feel so good. And I thought about it and I was like, wow, this is what I do to people. Like, this is what I provide to people. This is some good stuff, whether they appreciate it or not, whether their mind is accepting of it or not, whether they just think it just should be given to them or not, because you've always just given it, whatever. Just know that what you guys give is like a blessing, and it's like little cheerleaders. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, Leo has the same thing, but in a slightly different way, but it's very similar. So don't forget that, that you are such an important part of the team, if not one of the most important parts of the team. Especially if you go to become like some type of spiritual teacher. Not to say if you don't, like you're any less important, but just what we have, what Tauruses have, and that intensity and that love and that dedication and that, I'll be here, that rock energy, that is like, I'm there and I got you and thank you and I'm not scared to tell you. However, I do feel, because Tauruses rule the throat. So one thing I think a lot of Tauruses are going to become in balance on is they're very quick to uplift somebody and tell them their great qualities, but they don't want to hurt anybody or cause anybody to kind of go away or get mad at them. So, that's why they hold on to it until like finally they unleash the fury, the bull and the bull is let out. So because of that too, you might pull your words back where you need to speak them and then over give when you need to pull back. Like, not everybody deserves what you have. And that doesn't mean they're not as good of a person or a soul. It just means that there's boundaries that are needed, and that if there are times, to know when to like uplift people, even if they don't appreciate it or know it. And there's times to decide like, no, that's enough. Especially when it's taking from your own energy and your own worth and how you value yourself. When you become a doormat, and it's not necessarily the other person's fault a lot, we put ourselves there. Because we love feeling needed. We love helping. We love being there. It's a lot like Pisces as well. But we have to know our boundaries, and we have a lot of that in the cards here, and to know when to put those up, and not from a place of regret or resentment, but a place of love for ourselves. And that's one thing I think Tauruses are really starting to learn, or at least I hope so anyways, but is the love for themselves. And I think what that's going to bring in for us is just such great things. I just hope that we stay using it in a good way and giving back, and not an egoic way. We'll get caught up too much on the power of it. We are Scorpio's opposite sign, and they're very much about power and control. And Tauruses are about control too, but Scorpio is really about power. And I think to some degree, a lot of what's going on here is also tapping into Scorpio energy. As Tauruses are evolving, they are picking up of some of Scorpio's traits, because they're evolving. That's what happens when a sign evolves. They usually evolve a lot of times to their opposite signs' traits, or at least a lot of their good ones. And then hopefully then they start to evolve to, the rest of the zodiac signs to become completely balanced. So where we're heading right now is good. We just need to make sure we stay here in a loving way and not a fear-based way, because we don't want to pick up negative attributes of our own traits, but especially not of our opposite signs' traits or of other signs' traits. As of right now, it seems like Tauruses are really picking up on a lot of the positive attributes of Scorpio traits. Speaking of which, I didn't even mean for it to go this way, but it's what happened. What is at the central of this reading is the Death card and the Ace of Wands. Here's Scorpio, and here's the Ace of Wands, which Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm not going to focus on that. I just thought it was funny. Like here's the Death card. This is Scorpio. So some either communication, thought, or a truth comes forward. And it either ends a cycle, or a cycle ends and it brings forth some type of truth, revelation, idea, or whatever. Not only an ending of a cycle do I get here, but she's concocting something. Formulating something. And then what's in your thoughts, again, you have something where she's formulating something. She's concocting something, some type of plan, or I don't know if some people are involved in spiritual or witchcraft type stuff, but let me put this Ace of Swords on for a minute. So see, look, she's older. And she's younger. She's youthful. I don't know, maybe you're like, you know what? Like, this is aging me. This is taking so much of my energy, so much of my, focus and intensity, and I've got so many other things I need to focus on right now. And there's so many transformative things in this card. There's an eagle, there's a snake, there's I can never remember how to say this, but Stonehenge. I think it's Stonehenge, but it's like it's like she's putting an end to a cycle and like concocting something because she needs to create something different that gives her back vibrancy and youth and health and energy and makes her feel alive again. Not drained. Not like this is the end of the road. Not like, no. Like, it's almost like I see her making a potion, you know, because she wants to transform out of this and go back to this state. It's like, you know, here's this. She's going through something spiritual to transform, which helps her on all like levels, physical levels, energetic levels, appearance levels. Like, I think Tauruses are starting to come more into themselves, their beauty, focusing on themselves. The love is shining through in the way that they look, the way that's coming forth. Right now, she's in a darker energy manifesting. That doesn't mean we're dark, but you get what I'm saying. It's heavy. It's heavy on us. But this one, she's now manifesting, and she's younger, she's vibrant, she's youthful, she's beautiful. She's got the rainbow in the background. Like, things are, she went through a rebirth. She transformed. And you either realized that you needed to do this, you got communication and you needed to do this, or you did this because you want communication coming forth. You had some type of revelation, realization, communication, whatever, to where this was needed to be done. Also, I get that it was either, for some people, this came first, and then this happened to transform to this. And I think it's more and, after all that happened, another one of these came. I'm guessing a lot of us, this is about love, but I'm going to more read this like, there probably will be a little bit of love in here, but this is like about us. You know what I mean? I'm really going to try to focus this reading mostly about us. There will be a little bit of some other love talk and stuff like that, but this is a Taurus empowering reading, because this is where Taurus is entering and traveling to. So what's crossing this is you have the Four of Swords. This person is thinking. They do have the Three of Swords here. Maybe they've started to pull the swords out of their wounded heart. They do have one ready if they need it. Maybe they're contemplating over this sword right here. Maybe this sword is this sword. And they're sitting here thinking about it and contemplating about it. This truth, this communication, this realization. But at the same time, while they're sitting here thinking about it and contemplating about it, which is good, it's very Taurus-like, you know. They really want to make sure they know exactly what they're doing and all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But this is the kind of hindrance card. This is what's blocking. This is the obstacle. It's crossing this path. So it's crossing this realization from coming more forth, or maybe the second one. And what's stopping this transformation is this. Is a Taurus being a Taurus. Sitting, thinking, waiting. How many are waiting? How many are thinking? This is stopping a lot of Tauruses from truly transforming and coming into their power. Because Tauruses are holding themselves back. Because not only are they waiting, but they're trying to be too thorough. They're trying to make the best move that they can. And honestly, the best move that a Taurus can right now doesn't need to be thought about. It's anything that is best for you in this moment. It is investing in yourself in this moment. This is one of the biggest things Tauruses are learning right now, is investment in the self. Tauruses are all about earth signs anyways, but Tauruses, what are they investing their time in? That's why it's so hard when their plans don't work out. But I've invested so much time. I've invested so much of myself and my energy and my intensity. And they have a hard time coming off of that. And it didn't really work out a lot for them, for a lot of them, especially the ones that are going through a lot of transformations. So now what it's asking you to do is to put that energy into yourself. Don't transform a little bit and then go back to what you've always done and be okay with that small amount of growth. There is so much on the plate for Tauruses. It's not just Tauruses. I'm not trying to act like it's just Tauruses for anybody who's cross-watching or whatever. But there is a lot of things in store for Taurus. And there's a lot of things they're meant to be. They are one of your biggest spiritual teachers. I ask that we aim high. Don't be scared that the fall will be too great and that it will hurt worse the further of a height we fall from. Because we know how bad it hurt in the past. We need to aim high. We need to go and we need to reach. Because there's things we have to do, and those things we have to do are our abundance we're looking for anyways. We can't get caught in that trap. And I know I'm sounding like I'm projecting here. I don't feel like I am. I think this is a common thing, and this is why I say we. We cannot get caught in that trap of doing all this work and moving forward a little bit, being freed a little bit, and then starting to put ourselves back in the cage. But yet telling ourselves that we've freed ourselves. We can't stop, and we can't move backwards. It is about moving forward. It's about aiming high, yet accepting and being grateful for where we are right now. It shouldn't be a hard decision. If you're thinking this hard, there's a good chance that you're not thinking about something for you. Or if it is for you, it's something about your egoic desires based on past patterns. Because that's why you're thinking this hard about it. Because you still want it really bad. But you know it's not best for you. And it's not meant to come in the next part of your cycle. Maybe not ever. But you're pretty darn sure there's a cycle coming up that it's not part of. And that's why you're thinking this hard about it. You're sticking yourself and blocking yourself because you're wanting to revert back. The unknown is scary. The having faith is scary. Because you can't fully see what's ahead. You want to go to what you know. It has not served us. And we need to remember that. We need to stop sitting. We need to stop thinking. And we need to stop waiting. Because anything that is what we're supposed to be doing right now will not make us do this. we would hop on it like white on rice. Because we know. I mean, that's Taurus. Or is that I have? I guess I have, actually. Should be, I know. Just kidding. You get what I'm saying? What is in the foundation or the more distant past of this reading is the Prince of Swords and the Eight of Swords, of course, being stuck. Some people might have had communication. I think there was a lot of swift action. Some of this could have been the awakening action that stuck us, got us in a stuck position. This could be somebody coming forth, not thinking about their actions or their words. Somebody with a lot to say. It could have been you. It could have been somebody else. It could be your own energy. It could be you having a lot of energy being pent up and built up due to your intensity. This is actually what I think it is. And nowhere to go with all that intensity. Which is hard because to some degree Taurus has learned the lesson and they're reeling themselves back. And when you've got all that intensity just a burning, where do you put it? Where do you put it, Taurus? Guess where you put it? Into yourself. Whether it's love, whether it's your body, whether it's a project, learning. Should be a project and learning because we're in manifestation stage, so you should be manifesting. But at the very least into yourselves. And I get it, there's still some energy left over. We are an intense sign. That's not going to get rid of all of it, but you got to further learn about yourself. You have to further learn about outlets for yourself, whatever it may be. This is a learning process. This is a time about Tauruses. Taurus's time is coming. It's here now, but it's coming. But you have to do your work while it's manifesting to come. Are you doing the work? Or are you sitting and waiting? Because this is you and you're sitting and waiting. It's either not going to come or this is going to be your result. A whole lot of fast, flighty, uncontrolled, Martian energy. Like just intense, passionate, but not much structure, unorganized, not very thoughtful, whatever, in a way that leads us back to this. If you're a Taurus that you're feeling like this inside, where you're feeling like this, but you're also like this, and because you're like this and you're like this and you're holding back, but you don't know where to put this energy. Write. Journal every day. Make videos. Exercise. Take care of yourself. Write letters to people that need to be written to and burn them. Not the people, the letters. Release the energy. Yoga. Meditation. I don't know. Whatever works for you. This is a time of learning for Taurus. Tauruses are the children of the zodiac. Be a child. In the self-discovery phase. There's a lot of creative energy that is coming up. Could even be sexual energy. That is what creative energy and sexual energy are the same thing. So if you are and you don't have an outlet because you've learned your worth, you could be being built up and feeling stuck because of it. You need to create an outlet. I mean, I can give you advice, but I mean, you got to figure it out for yourself. You got to learn who you are. You got to learn what you like. You got to learn ways to release energy. This is one of the reasons I do these videos, besides helping people, is it helps me release energy, because it is not a good feeling when I can't release my energy. My mind doesn't go to good places, and neither does my spirits. So this could be external to you, but again, this is very much an example of how it is mirroring what's internal to you. You could be bringing in people who are coming across, like they have this energy in them, but they feel stuck too. They also don't know how to release their energy. But first and foremost, I think that this in your more distant past is how you felt, and you didn't really know how to release this energy. It might even been anger and resentment towards somebody that was making you feel stuck. Your own aggressive and intense energy that was making you feel stuck. But either way, it seems like you don't want it anymore. You just, maybe you're starting to realize how much it's really weighing you down. It's submerging you. Look at, like, this person's underwater. Like, it's making you feel stuck in your own emotions and that you're just drowning. Because you're becoming awakened enough to realize what you're doing, but not productive or changed pattern-wise. Like, your patterns don't match up with your new thoughts yet. So you're really, this to me gives a feeling of being stuck with one foot in one world and one foot in another world. Your mind now knows where more it needs to go and not do, but your actions and your patterns have not fully aligned to what your mind knows. It hasn't caught up with it yet. And to be honest with you, at least in my experience, you just have to start. There's no time you're going to feel like doing it. You're always going to feel like this, to be honest with you. You just have to start doing it. Because what happens is your mind has trained yourself that that's not fun for you. It's not an accomplishment, or it doesn't give you what you need to feel happy. So your mind keeps remembering and trying to get you to do and stay stuck on the things that make you feel happy based on past patterns. But now you know better, so you're not doing that, so you're stopping yourself. It's building up, you're getting stuck. You need to just start doing new things. And eventually your mind and your body is going to catch up to that, and your patterns are going to adapt. Your reality and your world is going to change based on the new patterns that you're now giving it to go off of to feed yourself, your subconscious. Right now, your subconscious is still trained on everything from the past. You have to give it new stuff to supply you information with on what actions to take. Because, I mean, that's what it does. That's what we do in our everyday life. So you just have to start. You just have to start making new patterns. You cannot sit and wait for yourself to feel like it. Because to be honest with you, what's going to happen is you're either never going to feel like it, or you're going to feel like it, but it's going to hurt. And it's either going to be really late, you're going to have to do more work, or it's going to be the universe making things so uncomfortable with you that it's going to use pain and uncomfortability to motivate you. And I know me personally, I learned from my awakening. I do still have to have reminders. I still work on it. I'm not amazing, but I don't want to have pain as one of my main motivators. I don't want to have big shakeups anymore as one of my big motivators, any more than I have to. Life already throws me enough curveballs. I don't need to add any more to the mix more than what's in my control. There's two paths you can take, and they both lead to the same direction. You can either choose the easy path or the hard path. Tauruses usually choose the hard path. I don't want to do that anymore. I would like to break free from that as much as I can, as much as I can work towards. And I know this last, everything I went through, it happened with the motivation. I know, and I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know when you don't know it. But I know now. I don't know everything, but I know what I know right now. And I know that pain is one of the best motivators, but it's also really uncomfortable. And if I can develop my spiritual self-discipline to get me there to where I don't have to have to rely on pain in order to do that, I would rather do that. That's what I'm aiming for personally. I recommend you do the same. In the recent past, you have the Four of Pentacles. I think this is Taurus's kind of closing off and pulling back. Because of this, this energy in the more distant past. Not only is this you guys internally, but this is also somebody else, and they made you feel stuck. They just didn't really think about their actions. They didn't think about their words. They didn't think about you. They came in, not quite as in and out as like the Knight of Wands, but just sometimes this can be seen as a good communicator, like they really know, but to me, because it leaves like this and they're like going away, like maybe this is you communicating, not really seeing, but I think it's like somebody came in and they came in with this energy and then just left you stuck. Which also is you. You were inviting the energy to you. You were equally as much of a player. But I think this is not only your own energy. This is somebody else who comes in with this energy. And he just looks angry and like determined. And he is guarded like no other. There's a lot of blue for like emotions too. There's a lot of blue in this card. But he is just guarded. So this could be you and or it could be somebody else. I think it's both, actually. I think this is you and it's making you stuck, but I think someone else comes at you and it makes you stuck. And I think you're just like not wanting to deal with it anymore. You realize how it really zaps your energy. You don't want to feel that way anymore. And you start to really kind of pull back to yourself, pull your energy back to yourself and take what's valuable. Take yourself, your energy, your gifts, your love, your everything that's about you and that value, because you found the value in it now and you're like, okay, I'm going to keep this for myself and I'm going to put it in this box. I can tap into it when I need to, but nobody else is getting this for a while. Because not only A, until they deserve it, but B, because you've got some strategizing and some work that you're going to do. So you don't want this to be where anybody can affect this anymore, because you know it's valuable. You know it's priceless, especially your energy. You now know, because your energy has just been wasted for so long, that you don't have a lot of energy to give anymore. I mean, if I know me as a Taurus, my energy is so valuable these days. I don't have energy like I did before. And I know I'm still growing. I think it will get better, but I don't have energy in the same way. And I think it's almost part of the lesson for Tauruses to make you appreciate your energy and not give it away for nothing. Like when you don't have a lot of it, because Tauruses, man, they had energy to give to the ends of the earth. They would give, and never gave up. And they don't have that anymore. And it's for a lesson. You got to take something away to make people and things appreciate it. I mean, you don't have to, but that's one of the ways. And that's including your own energy. And I think until you really start to learn your boundaries and really learn how to do this in a more balanced way, I don't think you're going to be giving back all of your energy. Because this is a lesson for us right now, to learn how to appreciate and respect our energy and give it away in small increments, but to know when we do give it away, we know somebody deserves it and we know how much of it to give. We will no longer deplete our energy for somebody else. because we were like the Energizer Bunny. If we did even, start to go down in energy, just giving to people helped us and give back. And if not, we would just rest for a minute and then boom, there you go. I mean, Tauruses are like that bull. They just keep going and going and going, and they don't stop. It's hard to stop a bull. Well, the bull got stopped. And you now are like, whoa, I do not have a lot of this to give. This is the Four of Pentacles, in case, I don't know if I said that. I don't have a lot of this to give. And wow, I need to preserve this. It's almost like, life or death, or like survival mode. That's a lot of actually what the Four of Pentacles is anyways. But you are preserving. You realize I don't want to keep saying the same thing over again, but you realize how valuable this is, and you're putting it in a safe place. You do not want it to be touched. You do not want it to be tainted. You do not want it to be stolen. You want it to be in a safe place where only you can get to it, and then you can have it safe while you are strategizing and reforming again. What's on your mind or your conscious? You have, this is the Temperance card. I think it's like Fairlit. I don't know. But balance. You're working to get back balance. You are concocting something. I do think it's more than just balance. I think it's how to achieve balance and happiness a new life. Some people might be trying to get pregnant or have gotten pregnant. Trying to figure out how to form connections or bridge connections, going to moving or going to another part of a land or going somewhere else. How to take two bodies and form a connection between it in a happy and loving kind of way. So that could be like a physical, geographic type thing. It could be metaphoric for your life, or that could literally be two bodies, a relationship. It could also be forming, an alignment with your internal and external, your child self, your inner child self, your higher self, and your present self, all in alignment. It's that too, probably. But I mean, come on now, I'm pretty sure this is also about somebody that you're just still refusing to let go of. Because either you're just not, or you just have that feeling about that there's a reason for something more, and that's fine, or whatever. You can let the universe handle that, but in the meantime, do your thing. Do not focus on that. I don't know. I think you're trying to manifest stuff for yourself too. Because of this difference of this, and she's like, I need my energy back. That's why you went to self-preservation mode, because you're thinking about how to get back to this. So you are probably thinking about how to give back to yourself and get your own energy and your energy back. And it probably is through taking care of yourself and focusing on you. But to some degree, you probably still have in your mind, well, if I could make a good connection with somebody, that would for sure get my energy back because it worked in the past. That's not going to work. So stop thinking about that. What's going to work is you focusing just on yourself and moving forward, because this connection right here that you're thinking about, this the universe has. And if it's meant to come, it will come. It will come because of the universe. It will not come if you're not doing your work and focusing on you. And if you do bring it in before then, it will not end up well. Your lesson is to focus on you right now. So this little manifesting that you're doing right now, please make sure you're doing this just focusing on yourself and your wants and your desires and your goals and your dreams and your life purpose and your mission and all of that. Connecting with your higher self and all of that. Because I promise you, that is what gets you what you want. Not by focusing on what you think you want, but by focusing on what you actually need and what's for your growth. Yourself. There is nothing more powerful than a Taurus who knows how to take care of themselves. And not in a selfish way, but in a self-love way and in a manifesting way and in a high vibrational way. I mean, you take a Taurus who already knows how to manifest and you put them in a high vibration. You're trying to manifest, right? And stop thinking of what it looks like. Because you're not going to be able to figure it out. What you can think of how it happens is not going to be anything like what the universe can make it happen like. So stop trying. Just have fun with this. Have faith and know that what is supposed to come your way is going to. And it is going to be this. It's going to be a connection and it's going to be connected with rainbows. But do your work in the meantime. And that means on you. In your life, your career, your mission, your goal, your journey. I'm not going to keep saying it because I feel like I'm just... You know it. But you're trying to like still have that control by keeping it in the back of your head. Like, no, I'm taking action. I'm taking action. Yes, I am. I'm taking action. You know? Taking action. Can't you see that? Oh, Tauruses. It's okay. I'm with you. But I'm getting better and better every day because it's bull poopy. It honestly is. What's in your likely future is you have the Seven of Wands. Here's your boundaries. Here's your defending yourself. Taurus figured something out. Taurus has been working on something. Because they moved to a higher ground and they're sitting up here. Look at these people trying to get up to them. Like, what are you doing up there? What have you built? What have you put together? Can I come see? I don't think so. There's certain criteria to get up here. And I don't think you meet it. And they're like, but please. And he's like, no. Because he's looking past them. Like, what else is out there? And this is most likely your future because what you see and what you figured out and how you see yourself is you're tired of the cycle. You are ending the cycle. You have learned your lesson. You are tired of it. You are focusing on yourself. You have released. Taurus has become an armadillo about something they've held on to for a really long time. That doesn't mean the situation fully going away. That means that bond. Remember I said in my last video, how many times have you wished that this hold would go away? The hold went away. You now can move in and out if you want to. The funny part is, now that the hold goes away, do you care? Like, it's still there. You still see what it was all about, but is the toy still as shiny? Have you found new toys? Is that toy still on your level? Now that you realized you've grown up and you got a whole new set of toys to play with? Maybe. But you're not so quick to move on it anymore. You're not so quick to try to manifest it anymore. A new thought has came into your mind. Could there possibly be something else out there that I really want? That really makes me feel better and doesn't make me feel like this? Funny part is a lot of times that's when it comes in. Is when you don't need it or want it anymore and you see past it and the hold is gone. Maybe this is this person coming back being like, hey, what are you doing up there? What'd you build? You're like, nothing. You won't like what's up here. While you're looking past them out into the world, to see what's out there. What else is out there? You're curious now, you know what I mean? Now that that hold is starting to release, or it has released, you're starting to get curious because that fear is gone. That hold is gone. What else is out there? It's kind of exciting. Just saying. I mean, you realize like how you like what is all that been about? That's weird. I mean, you see the value in it, you see the lesson in it, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Good job, Taurus. You learned. You might even be able to actually manifest it now, or you have brought them in. Maybe, maybe not. The point is that you're really second guessing whether you care. Because you see the world now. You see your world now. You see inside you now. You see that other people see you now because you see you now. And you realize that that toy either isn't on your level yet, or that toy was never really a toy at all. It was an imposter. And you just haven't seen it clearly. So you're just not putting your focus on it. I don't think you're discarding it. I think you're just leaving it, like you're just leaving it there. Maybe you're even putting it in this safe. Like, I'm not sure if I really want to keep you out anymore. I'm not really sure if I want to like play with this or utilize this anymore. So I'm either going to leave it right here, or I'm just going to put it in this little safe box so that at any time that I want to come back and access it, I can. Be careful with that. Don't become like what they did to you. But at the same time, you don't need to go running. This is a time for you and exploring your options. The universe has that covered anyways. Remember, we have popped out of fear-based mode. We have learned this lesson. So there is no running back. Especially if you're standing there like, no, I want to see what's out in the world. And they're like, all right, but I'm going to go away. If I go away, I'm not coming back. You sure that's what you want? Or do you want to let me up? You're like, what? What is that out there? I can't really hear you, but what is that out there? Can you see that? Because I see something. You're just like not really paying attention. So don't get caught up in that trap. Remember that you learned the lesson, because this is also going to help them learn their lesson and end the cycle and completely break the bond. And then you guys can really see in reality what all of it is made of and whether it's supposed to be there or whether it's not. Either way, bravo, you feel like you have ended a cycle. What's in your environment or how others see you is the Princess of Swords. This is the Page of Swords. There's a truth that you have. You are communicating it. You're letting it out, but you're keeping a lot of it close to you now. They see that you've reeled your energy back. That you're not just vomiting on them your energy and your truth, and you're not just giving it away, that you have your boundaries and that you respect it. Like, look at her. Like, this is her truth. This is her word. She has this thing wrapped around it and holding it close to her. So she's like, see, this is my truth. This is what I think. This is my communication. But I'm keeping it here. You're not going to take this from me or use it against me. But it's her truth and it's her enlightenment. And she's speaking her truth now. She now sees and she now knows what she wants, what she has to say. If you think you might have a hard time speaking your emotions at any point, it might be good for you to write them and then burn them to release that energy and try to get as much of that negative energy out of you before you possibly do have to share it with somebody, so that you're more balanced in your throat. Because I know with me, sometimes when I really talk about like those really hardcore matters, like I become all fumbly and discombobulated, and clearly you could tell my throat is not mostly balanced and all of that. And not only that, but that makes it harder for a conversation really to go right, because if you can't talk properly, or you're coming at them with an overload of resentment type energy, which, yeah, you were wronged and whatever, but if you want it to go productive, you don't want to just vomit all your unbalanced, old, stale emotions onto somebody. You do want to speak your truth, but you want to do it in a collected, balanced way. In a way where you have worked through the emotion, you have healed through emotion as much as you can on your own, and you are balanced and you are secure about it, and it doesn't cause you to fall apart while you're doing it. And that's not horribly wrong. I'm not saying that, like, if that ever happens, but especially with what this type of person is, that I'm assuming that I know what it is, or, you know, their type of character, you're going to want to come calm, cool, collected, and together, to make it to where that's their best chance of really talking to you. Otherwise, they will then become discombobulated themselves. It will be too heavy of an energy. They might be willing to take ownership of what happened, but if it is too much, it probably will be too soon for them, and they will shut down and run or leave. So just saying, you may want to work on writing that down, getting it out. Anything, whether it's good, bad, logical, illogical, whatever, and then burning it. If you have to do it a couple times, do it a couple times. Do it until you can write it and not break down, till you can write it and not be all fumbling all over the place. Speak it out loud and read the letter if you have to, as if you are saying it to that person. Do it outside of your house, preferably, so the energy doesn't stay in there. If you do, sage the area. Release that energy. Preferably go outside and let nature take it, and then burn it. Make sure it's fully extinguished before you walk away. You know, gone, fully burnt, all that. And do it multiple times until you can write it without coming apart, or you can say it without coming apart. Like, literally, I know it sounds like practicing and rehearsing, but that's exactly what you need to do if this is something that's important for you, if this ever comes around, because you're going to want to be balanced. Many Tauruses are unbalanced in their throat chakras. You try taking a discombobulated, unbalanced energy verbally, and you add intensity and built up tension behind it, and feeling like this and all this pent up sexual energy and nowhere to put it for all this time, plus on the thing of the past. Guess what that person has coming for them, and guess where they're going. Not around you. That's a very good idea. You guys need to do it. So hopefully you do, because this might be how they see you while you're speaking your truth, especially if you take that advice that I just told you about. She just seems calm, cool, in her power, enlightened, speaking her truth, but not in an upright way, like, let me tell you something. She's just like, here it is. Here's the truth. Yep, there it is. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. I know. You know, like that. Non-threatening. Like in an empress vibe. Yeah. So this is what's in your environment. This is how others see you. I think this is more how others will see you or be in your environment, because you'll be in your environment. Or maybe you have somebody like this who's really helping you. Okay, I'm back. All right, so what is in your hopes and fears? You have a lot of cards where I was like, oh, do I want to keep these? But let's just say your hopes and fears. You have the Devil card. If you guys remember the reading I did, it was November or December of 2017. You remember my thing about this Devil card. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Ten of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles. And the Seven of Swords. Hopes and fears. You're really wanting things within this partnership from before. This kind of relationship that you've been bound and tied to, or situation that you've been bound and tied to. That, you know, like as the Devil card in this deck says, you know, they were very naive and in love and hanging out before they knew the realities of life, or before just things really got to them. And this is kind of like, you know, that Saturn paternal energy, you know, kind of like I was saying in the video, like, you know, enjoy it now, young ones, because you don't know what's going to come. So it was basically enjoying this love, that full-on vulnerable love. Before just things got rough. And I think you're either wanting, you know, to kind of end that cycle, but you're wanting obviously things to move forward in your life, but also with that, maybe also even move forward or positive change away from this, the boundness. Because let's not just romanticize this. This is the Devil card still. That chain-like energy, that being bound energy. Eight of Swords really seems to come up for Tauruses quite often, because this was the same card. Different deck, but same card I held up before. How many times have you wished this energy would go away? So wanting, you're really wanting that to go away and move forward, either gone or it move forward in a more positive direction, and there to be justice, balance, peace, you know, things to be righted, the end the end of a cycle of hurt, to where new beginnings can happen, and one that you honestly really can strategize and get your efforts back, but that don't hopefully include, deceit, manipulation, just heavy energy, worry. Like, this guy looks worried. Like, hopefully a situation in your life that for once in your life you actually don't have to stress over or strategize over or just put so much energy into. It's like, should it take this much energy? I mean, my God. No, it shouldn't. I mean, a lot of you could be in twin flame relationships, or situations. And I just want to clarify, twin flame relationships are not about enduring this. It's not like, oh, well, I have to go through it because I'm in a twin flame relationship. No, that is not significant of a twin flame relationship. However, a lot of them do go through that. What is indicative of the journey of a twin flame relationship is self-growth and discovery, where you transcend and evolve beyond this devil type energy, where you grow beyond it. You break through those patterns, those societal, ancestral patterns, and then you do your mission and you walk your journey and you give back and help others, sometimes together and sometimes apart. That is the twin flame journey. That is the part that should be thought of. Not like, oh, I have to go through this because I'm in. So just know, like, no, that's not what that means. That's just an excuse on your end, or an ignorance of lack of information. Like this. This is a completely naive card. A lack of information due to a lack of life experience. It's also about karma. It could be patterns. Pattern, it's a very codependent card. It is transcending beyond that, letting the wheel turn and letting things get better in that fact and creating balance in your life. Getting back to knowing what is right, what is balanced, what is, equal give and take. Not too much on your part, not too little on your part, and vice versa. Creating situations that don't make you feel like this or this. No, they don't have to be that way. Yes, you probably did have to go through that situation in order to learn all this, transcend and rise above, so that now you can come out of hibernation, of sleepwalking your whole life. That's what I felt like when I did mine. I was like, I feel like I've been sleepwalking my whole life. And you're starting this new beginning. Either way, your hopes and your fears is the new beginning. I want it, I don't. I want it, I don't. I'm scared, I want it. I'm scared, I want it. I'm excited, I'm scared. I'm excited, I'm scared. I'm excited, I'm scared. I mean, this could be you, like, drawing the line in the sand. Like, you creating that wheel. You are creating that change. You are creating that change. She's manifesting, and she's manifesting with some knowledge or truth. This could be you creating this wheel. Either on just plainly this codependent bond and breaking the pattern, and or you moving forward and doing your thing and the universe brings you what it needs to. I'm not even going to focus on what could come from your efforts on that because that's ridiculous and you shouldn't focus on that. I'm telling you, honestly, how to manifest what you want. And by focusing on that, even though it's beautiful and romantic, I gave you enough of that in my last video. The universe is going to handle all that for you. This is about you and your journey and what you're manifesting. And because of that, you will connect two worlds, and it will be connected by a rainbow. Okay? You just can't be stuck. You need to walk forward even in fear. Courage is not lack of fear. It is moving forward in spite of fear. And aiming high. Don't be scared of success. I know a lot of people are like, don't be scared of failure. I don't think Tauruses are scared of failure. I think a lot of times, especially the ones who are really wounded, the true wounded healers in the Taurus line, they are scared of success. They'll have enough for security. Any Taurus is going to have enough for security. But it's that aiming high that really scares you. Because you've fallen once before. And it hurt pretty bad. But it's when you were naive. It's when you didn't know better. It's when you didn't have any other circumstance to compare it to. It's when you didn't have known who you were. You didn't have that firm foundation and that true identity of yourself built up. They were you and you were them. When you lost them, you lost you. This is helping you build you. So that this fear and this bond and these chains will not be again. It is time for them to go. And this is the path that leads you there. That doesn't mean that this type of connection is no longer. What it actually means is that this connection becomes stronger. Because true love can blossom, not a love that is inhibited by fear. And now that you know that, you can draw the line in the sand and create the wheel to turn. You create this justice and this balance for yourself. And you create the ending of this cycle. I would show you the world, but it's covered, so. You create your new beginning. You're going to be putting a lot of work into it, just so you know. But this is a beginning that is going to pay off for you. Don't fear it and don't let it stop you. If anybody has the heart for this, besides maybe a Leo, it is a Taurus. They have that heart, like a Leo has. But the Taurus also has the endurance, the perseverance, that will and that drive. Leos have a lot of will too, though. They're about will. But that drive. I mean, that is quite a strength to stand in the way of a Taurus. You put that energy in a good way, in a strong, positive, healthy way. Oh, man. Man. What is your likely outcome? You have the 7 of Pentacles. You have the 9 of Wands. And you have the Queen of Pentacles. So people really fought you about holding these boundaries. They really wanted to come up on this ledge. You really had to protect yourself. You really had to stand your ground. You either had to or you're going to have to. This is the future, so you're going to have to. Who knows? This energy could have came, though, so apply it to your life as necessary. So, with this 9 of Wands, you're pretty battled. You've been through it, but you're still standing there, It's further along. You're more battled. You've been through some stuff, but you're still standing there. You're a little wounded now, but you're standing there. You're still persevering. You're still Taurus. But now, because you have kept working at it and you have kept persevering and you have been true to yourself and stood up for what you believed and kept your boundaries, let things around when they should and blocked things when they shouldn't. You've had patience during this time and a knowing, because you know what's going on. It's harvest time. I think it's going to be different for everybody what they're harvesting. But she's harvesting off a tree. You have had patience and you have fought through this. Because, I think fighting has wore Tauruses out. And what you realize is it's not bad to fight. I mean, you can do it in a better way than fighting. But it's what are you fighting for? And is it an energy that's going to give back to you? And apparently you've learned how to put your energy into something that's going to give back to you because now you're harvesting. Thank God you're harvesting now. And you're abundant. Queen of Pentacles. You're more gathered. You're on top of your game. You're not quite a King of Pentacles yet. But you're getting there. This is you, though. There's two little, I don't know if you can see it, but the two little bulls, one there and one there. Rabbits, they signify a lot more, but luck. This is your new beginning. There's an infinity sign, so. I already know the answer to the question I'm about to ask, but let's just, for craps and giggles. See where it takes us. What gets Taurus to King of Pentacles? The Ace of Cups. Enlightenment. Self-love. I get lighting the way for others as well. Seeing the beauty in things. But self-love. It also gives you this Queen of Wands vibe too. Being fiery and passionate. Knowing what you want. But in order to get you from the king to the queen or to bring in your king, self-love. Exactly what I've been saying, guys. This self-love, self-journey, this either makes you to King of Pentacles and brings in your King of Pentacles. As does, this is the Queen of Swords. Cutting away things that no longer serve you and letting it go and letting the universe handle what it does with it, whether it pushes it along its own path or it brings it around to a lesson and brings it back to you. Either way, let the universe let that person grow up and learn their lessons. That is not up to you to suck your energy dry to teach them their lessons. Nope, it's about you and learning your lessons. The universe has your back on that. It's not your job to grow them up. It's your job to grow yourself up. It's their job to grow them up. So stop trying and stop wasting your energy on doing that. And stop looking back on the past. See how she's looking back on the past? Stop doing that. Here's the Hierophant. They are sitting there. They are meditating. They are in their power. They are using the spirit in the etheric realms to come all in and know and do their thing. So get rid of in your environment what no longer matters. Don't try to grow somebody else up. The universe has you on that. Stop looking back in the past. Move forward. Do not hold yourself back. Reach for the sky. Do not be scared of falling. I promise you, if you even fall, it is not going to hurt as bad as it did before, because you now have your tools and you know now how to go and rebuild. And you now know that a lot of times failure is just a twist in the plan when the universe assists you to get more of where you're going. So when you take that effort and you put that on your part, on your responsibility, you're taking action. Just because something helps you deviate, sometimes those little falls are the universe's way of saying, good job on putting in the action. I see where you're trying to go. And here, I'm going to help you take a little detour. And you see it as a failure because it's not where you were trying to go, but that's okay. Because the universe is helping tweak your plan to get you where you're trying to go, or to get you even better and higher. Just go. That fall will not hurt in the same if you even fall. What will hurt is if you never tried to rise in the first place. And you regret that when it's too late. Also, stop trying to figure out, like he's looking in this mirror at all these little different identities of himself. Stop trying to figure out what identity you want to put on like it's a suit. Just go. You will find it. It will a suit will all of a sudden materialize. Even though you don't want the same suit anyways. You want one that's fluid and that can change and just be what you want it to be in that moment. And that's what reality reflects. You don't want it to reflect that rigid way that happened before your awakening. You want it to reflect how you are and what you want in that moment, in that present moment. Not rigidity. Stop window shopping for suits to put on. Just be. I get very handsy when I get really going with it. But anyways, 10 of Wands. You're tired of carrying this burden. What burden? This 2 of Cups burden. You're tired of carrying it. You're tired of being the only one that's carrying it. Why? Because it's useless. The universe has that for you. You now know what you have to do. And guess who's embarking on that journey? You are. I am. We're embarking on that journey. Why? Because we know where it's getting us. This 4 of Wands could be a twin flame card. It's also a 4 of Wands. Let's not get too excited. Don't need to worry about it. The universe has our back on that. It is seen sometimes as a twin flame card, though, because of the 1111. But this new journey is bringing us here. And I have to say, I mean, my God. You know, here's your Queen of Swords energy again. You are just like, I think that's... No, there's 2 of them. This one has a Queen of Swords vibe, too. But, I mean... Oh, it's a grown-up version of her, that's why. So here's you, a little evolved in your knowledge along this path. This is almost like a future prediction in a way. Like, here's what it was in the how others see you, and here's you evolving. Either way, you're evolving with the energy, so good job. But what it does bring in that is interesting is, I mean, male suitors. Like, what is going on? Here's your Empress. Oh, your Empress and your Emperor. And your Pen of Pentacles, your 2 of Pentacles, your King of Pentacles. I mean, Queen of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. I mean, okay, let's just focus on this, okay? Like, what's up with this? King of Wands, King of Cups, the Emperor, Ace of Cups, self-love, but also the renewal, resurgence, the start of a new love, or the resurgence of an old love, at the very least self-love. I feel, though, that this is a whole lot of love that you're bringing in from this journey you're on in this self-love, because it's almost like as soon as you stop chasing love, it's like, what? The universe is like, what? You don't want it anymore? You don't? Well, let me just throw it at you. Because you've got like a lot of suitors here, and it's a little bit stressing you out. You're almost like, oh, this is a little bit easier when I didn't have all these options. But hey, it's a little bit sexy. I'm fully abundant now. Here's your pregnancy thing too. So some of you might get pregnant or whatever, but you are just beaming with life and creation and happiness and all of that. You're like, whoa, all these options. Look at all this stuff just being thrown at me. I have more than I can handle. Material abundance, all types of abundance. She almost looks overwhelmed by all this abundance. Don't get too in your head, Tauruses. This is all not real. The darker part of it, you know, don't take it too seriously. Keep enjoying your journey. When this all comes, just the world is regurgitating, or not regurgitating, but vomiting all these options now on you. Just, they're there. They're not going anywhere. Like, you don't have to take them all. You don't have to be greedy. You don't have to, like, you know, how do I choose? Or, oh God, what if I choose wrong? You keep that faith in that journey you've been having all along, you know? Just keep stepping forward, using your intuition, listening to your truth, self-love, patience. Here's the answer to that. As you're trying to decide with this Two of Pentacles, who you want to make your king and your emperor, you use the Knight of Pentacles energy. You move forward slowly and steady and methodical. You do not stop. You don't stop. You don't get frozen or like the Eight of Swords. You just move slowly, because the king or the emperor that is meant to be with you, they will move slowly with you as well. They will not rush you. They will show you that they're there for the same stuff you are. And if you're rushing it, you need to pull back and go to the drawing board, and you need to invest a little bit more in this. Because if you're trying to rush anything, that means that, where is my devil card? Oh, it's up here. That means that you have not done enough of this, and you're still sitting in this if you're trying to rush anything at this point. You clearly have not ended that cycle yet. So if they're trying to rush it, no, they need to back off. And if they go somewhere, guess what? You just dodged a bullet. If they don't respect you wanting to take it slow. And if you're not taking it slow, go back to the drawing board. Where's the other guy I need? Go back to the drawing board. Okay? Okay. Well, that was interesting. Suitors. I mean, whoa. Suitors. Whew. This journey just takes us somewhere. It's amazing what happens when you let this burden down. Because you didn't need to carry it in the first place. This is all you needed. You didn't need all this. You just needed this. You know, who knew? Who knew? But hey, you know, you live, you learn. All right, so I'm almost done. Okay. So just a little bit of some other oracle cards. I think I meant to pull one, but like two good ones came out of like spiritual journey cards. Tauruses are very much on spiritual journeys, so I figured you guys might appreciate it. But romance oracle cards, for those of you who this is romance or whatever. Yes, who freed themselves. New love came in. Pay attention to the red flags, though. Like I said, when you go slow like this, you can see these red flags. If you don't go slow, you won't see other people's red flags. If they're trying not to go slow, it's because they don't want you to see the red flags. Okay? As you're going through all this, you are going to be forgiving and learning, and as you do, possible reconciliation is possible, and a chance for you to express your love with something that was at one time was unrequited love. This could be the one. Could be someone in a financial part. Maybe you got to get your finances right first so you can focus on your romantic feelings that you deserve and you waited a long time for. You've had to work on your control issues while you were getting to know each other and release the energy of the past. It's really going to take a little bit more effort because spiritually and religiously there's a lot going on. There's trust issues, but you're really calling in your soulmate and you're trying to heal family issues to make it safe for you to love. But in the moment, obviously we're retreating, we're freeing ourselves because we've really deceived ourselves in how this whole cycle needs to go. And we have learned that we need to love ourselves first. That will help us be optimistic about our love life so we're not offering love to a statue anymore who's just holding his genitals while he's looking away from us. And, brings back the heart of a child. Maybe children are involved in this. Maybe you guys started around childhood dating. Not child, but, young, early age dating. It might have been your first love, your soulmate, a lot of chemistry, passion, attraction. Things grew quickly, but then got in the way. Codependency. You need to decide what you want, but you can't decide what you want until you know who you are. This path is helping you get there. On the bottom of this deck, you have the Six of Cups. So you are being nostalgic. What is today? Tomorrow starts, this is the 25th, so tomorrow starts Mercury retrograde, although there's probably like a shadow period, which I think is from July 26th to August 19th, so we're going to be in Mercury retrograde. But you have Six of Cups, Three of Fire, abundance, things looking very good. Have patience at that time. Again, another patience thing. Make long-term plans. Go slow. Because whatever you do, going slow will reveal the right path, and it will bring you this Ten of Cups. Even if there's a pause, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry, the Wheel, the Emperor. You will be healing and clearing away what no longer serves you. You will be connected to your higher self and your intuition. And then here is the Hierophant card and the King of Earth. The manifestation, bringing in the Magician, the Star, being on your path, healing, hope, love. I mean, it's just going to keep saying the same things over and over again. We've already said. All right, so your cards you got. The reason for all this tower energy that is going on with you guys, two large parts of what it's bringing you is the Sun card. And I'm going to read these to you, well, at least most of it. You have the Sun card. These cards are like soul journey type cards that I'm reading to you, okay? See, happiness, it was bittersweet. You had to go through some stuff to get there, but it's the most joyful of tarot cards and a wonderful card to have in a reading. The correct meaning is always the one your mind attributes to a card. We take from a card or a reading what the other world intends, with one caveat. If we attempt to analyze or rationalize the card, that itself is an act of ego rather than intuition. So stop trying to analyze all this and try to act like you know and put it together. Just keep stepping forward. The resulting interpretation may be less than satisfying and non-productive. We mention this because the sun is a rational gain card. That's action, masculine. However, we softened him with the yin touch, the tear. Not to dampen the joy or distract from sun's vibrant optimism, but to provide another layer of meaning. As an archetype of the god Apollo, the sun may look down upon earth and lament the absence of yin-yang balance. He may lament the exploitation of nature and the patriarchal suppression of women, who have been closely associated with nature for eons. He may lament the abandonment of the Apollonian ideals that the sun represents, such as beauty, truth, and justice. I mean, that's hugely a Taurus energy. He naturally would lament these culture-bound imbalances, since sun is a symbol of enlightenment. In fact, enlightenment and the Apollonian ideals are the primary source of the sun's joy and optimism. This deck is deeply devoted to ecology. We would remiss if we failed to mention that domination by worldly power is a far cry from enlightenment and a corruption of the sun's virtue. The sun in readings asks us to think holistically. He asks us to root our ideals in pastures of cooperation, not competition, and to seek a pastoral balance of masculine and feminine energies on earth. So this has come to help balance you and enlighten you and then balance you. And then you have the Ten of Scrolls. Remember again, these are what this Tower energy was for. This death energy, this what's going on in your life right now. Esme's tiger on the Ten of Scrolls symbolizes spiritual acts of letting go and surrender, also depicted on the other cards in this deck. Except in this case, the required spiritual energy is confined. So again, you have another energy that's similar to this. It's trying to help you let go of this, which is what you wished for. Actually, it's bottled and corked in a self-imposed prison because an important lesson still needs to be learned before the present cycle ends. Otherwise, it will just keep on repeating itself until broken once the lesson is finally learned. The Ten of Scrolls asks you to identify cycles in your life that appear to repeat themselves. Are you attracting the wrong people, like these red flags that come up with people around you? For example, or perhaps the same negative circumstances occur over and over again. In either case, this has a great deal to do with your energy signature. You will attract and keep on attracting people and circumstances that mirror the vibrational energy pattern you emit, which is defined as your energy signature. Various things have a lasting adverse effect on an energy signature. These include wounds that never fully heal, trauma, disabling beliefs, low self-esteem, ego expectations, and fear. The emotions associated with these experiences and mindsets remain imprisoned in mind-body energy. These embedded emotions can be healed by tiger medicine, which is simply a term to express the holistic healing the tiger spirit animal symbolizes. The Ten of Scrolls is prescriptive. The tiger invites you to reclaim the power that defines her role as a spirit guide. Like the Hierophant. I mean, I know it's a different type, but tiger medicine applies awe-inspiring power and healing balm to the pain and fear affecting your energy signature. You could meditate on that, like meditate with tiger medicine. As to heal. As Holly noted, or that's who wrote this book, forget that. Intention is everything. As you improve your energy signature by making changes in your environment, such as people, activities, habits, or boundaries, or by creating a permanent disconnect with the negative energy that confines you, that Queen of Swords energy, both means are effective. Intention and desire are then brought into balance with your energy signature, and you can break the cycle. You have to set the intention to break the cycle, and you have to be willing to let go and walk away at whatever means. You have to basically come to that point where you are choosing yourself over this that is binding you, and be willing to let go of the fear of what that might mean for you, and what that might mean, what your life looks like, and what your identity then looks like. Can you imagine your world without this person? Can you imagine your world without thinking about them? Can you imagine playing a song without thinking of them when it comes on? Can you imagine about thinking about your future with them in it? Can you imagine, like, not daydreaming on the couch and hoping that wishing that they were with you at that moment. Can you imagine all that? Because that's what you're going to need to do in order to break these chains and in order to break this bond. Because that is an illusion. The illusion tells you that if you stop doing that, or if you don't do that, that it will not be, and you will not be able to manifest. We've been doing it for years. It hasn't manifested. It's time to try something different, like focusing on yourself and loving yourself and having open expectations on what comes to you and what happiness looks like. Because if that's supposed to come, it will come anyways. The universe will bring it to you. When you imagine your life and when you imagine your universe, you imagine you. If you can't sit in a car without imagining, like, you know, just hypothetically that someone else is riding with you, or that you're like singing a song with them, or that they're just there with you, try to start replacing that person in your mind with visiting you as your higher self. That you are with your higher self, that you are getting validation from your higher self, that you and your higher self are moving forward in this journey together. Because here's the thing, that was all an illusion. Anyways, all the other stuff. Because whatever is supposed to come will come. And to be honest, here's the thing, if you're manifesting in a lack mode, so if you're sitting there manifesting, thinking about something you don't have, guess what you're manifesting? Not having something. Which you do have, your higher self. And it will bond with you, with your higher self. And because of that, it will raise your manifestation, or your vibration, I mean. And when somebody raises their vibration, they automatically increase their manifestation powers. And because of that, not only are you going to be better at manifesting more into your life what you want, but you're going to really, because you're a higher vibration, you're going to be able to more easily decipher what you really want to manifest and what you think belongs in your energy. And I know that's a little scary to let go, but to be honest with you, when you think of this person or situation, what emotion does it bring you anyways? What are you really hoping to achieve? What do you remember? So when you remember what you're trying to get back, what emotion do you remember? And I know there's hurt too, but let's not go there. You know where I'm going with this. You're remembering that good emotion before the carpet was swept out from underneath you. And that's the emotion you're trying to get back, which may not have been real in the first place because you both didn't probably know each other and you were in codependent patterns. So it was like not even real. It was an illusion. But you're trying to get that back, something that's eluding you. Why? Because it's not meant for you. Because there's other things meant to be first or something better. You're not trying in reality to get that person back. You think you are, but you're not. You're trying to get that emotion back, that feeling back, that passion back, that fire back. And that person is not the way. You are the way. And if you sit with your thoughts and you manifest with your higher self, it will show you the way to the path you were looking all along. You were just looking in a house of mirrors in a haunted house. That doesn't mean that person's not going to be standing there. I'm not saying that. But until you realize that you are looking at a fun house thing of mirrors and that you weren't seeing in reality, you will always just see a fun house of mirrors. Realize what it is that you really want. And realize that it's the emotion and the emotional satisfaction you're looking for. And be open to having no expectation on what brings you that emotion. Because if you try to limit what can bring you that emotion, you will always be stuck here. And how you break out of this is by aiming high and letting go of the expectation of what is going to bring you that 10 of Cups energy. Because you really don't know. And you don't have to. That is the part of the beauty of this journey that it's trying to teach you. To have faith to walk in the darkness. and know that the light comes. Stop trying to figure it out. Like the Sun card. Stop trying to figure out what it means. Stop trying to rationalize it all. Because this is where you're going to end up. Just move and feel it instinctually and let go of the control on how it comes to you or in what form it comes to you. Either way, if you start walking and you stop looking back and you trust and you aim high and you tap into that power and you work on that self-love and that's where you're putting that energy, you're going where you've always wanted to go anyways. All right, crystal healing card, and then we're done. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I lied. Let me say this real quick. Pretty much reiterates all the same thing. Your oracle cards, knowledge, study, learning, education, the death will come, mortal, finite, fragile. You have thirst, craving, compulsion, obsession, ambition, extension, reach, burnt by the sun. Yep. And transmission, spreading of conditions, influence, impact. And then you have sacrifice, renunciation, offering, letting go. So this pretty much all says to me that you're now going to start looking into yourself and doing the research and going into your path and finding out who you are. You're putting an end to that other cycle, that cycle of that devil energy with craving, compulsion, and obsession that leads you to sadness, and it burns you. It makes you burnt out. You are burnt by the sun. You are burnt by what you thought you wanted. And you are now watching what is around you and your conditions because you know it impacts you, but you are now spreading your vibe to the world. You want to teach and impact the world with what you know. You want to impact the world and not absorb the world's energy. And in doing that, you're going to let go of this. But I mean, I don't want to keep telling you this and give you a certain, if you need help, ask for it by all means, guys. Please don't ever be too prideful to do that. Admit if you need help with this. There's a big thing about, call for help with that. But know that it's an illusion to think that you're letting go of it completely by letting go. That's what your ego is going to tell you. You are letting go of the codependency of it. Because think about it. You're in the same boat anyways. Just let it go. You're sitting here not with the person. And you're holding on. Is it serving you? Is it bringing them back? No. Could it actually be giving a negative vibe with that polarity of energy where you're actually repulsing that energy because you're trying to hold on to it so hard? Have you ever noticed that those things in life just come so... Think about all the things that come in life easy to Taurus. Why does they come easy to a Taurus? Because they know they got that. They're not holding on with fear. They have faith. They know it's in their wiring. It's in their DNA. Especially manifesting like money, like 3D stuff. That doesn't mean people have gone through money troubles, but most Tauruses are like, well, they just know how to manifest things into money. I don't know. But you just know. So you work knowing. You don't know about this relationship, and that's why you hold on to it, or the situation. And that's why you're repulsing its energy. Let it go. It's its best chance of coming. You already don't have it. It's not working. You're not letting anything go that it's already not here. What you're actually letting, you're thinking like, oh, I'm letting go. They're dead. They're gone. They're no longer in existence. That is an illusion of fear in your head. Don't let it overtake you. What you're letting go of is the bond, the hold, the devil energy, the devil card energy. That's what you're letting go of. You don't have to put anything in a box. It's not finite. Taurus, August 2018, please. Don't let that fear overtake you. Don't let your mind play tricks on you. All right. So you have an Andalite, cosmic consciousness. Gently facilitates integration and releases emotional blockages standing in the way of spiritual awakening. It reminds us that consciousness is omniscient and omnipresent. Seeing all, knowing all. Immerse yourself in the mystical interconnectedness that is cosmic consciousness. You have the potential to live in a completely different dimension of consciousness. Recognize that you previously operated with a narrow band of awareness. Absolutely. Attune to flashes of divine light within your soul. Let feelings of separation fall away. You're really not separated. You have to know we're all connected within. Embrace unity. You are here to experience cosmic consciousness. Transform your goals and seek a new direction. That's exactly what I'm saying. You have exceptionally clear sight now. Stripped to the bone as the old falls away. Do not despair. New light is infused. When you transform your awareness, humanity experiences a quantum shift. Enlightenment can happen now. You are part of everything, and everything is part of you. That's what I was just saying. It's all connected. This letting go of that is a fear. That is the code. That is the devil card energy you're trying to get rid of. When somebody doesn't know that they're always connected to everything and everything is connected to them, and that the universe will always bring what is there, and having faith and trusting in all of that, that is when they hold the devil card energy. It's about you seeing that and embracing that and knowing that. Let it go, guys. Focus here. Because that's what brings you your abundance. I promise. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me during this journey. Please comment, share, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Like. Thank you again for all the comments. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you to those who have donated to my channel to help me keep doing this and going forth. All your kind words, all of your love. I felt it. I acknowledge it. I love it. I think that's it. I'll be seeing you guys soon. I hope everybody's getting through the eclipses good and everything. Flow. Don't let illusions block you. I love you guys, though, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. And I'll see you guys soon.